And it's time for another edition of Music Matters. I'm MonkeyBoy
and I'm Ziggy, and we have to change the program today.
We had a little, brain fart and forgot it was Mother's Day.
Yeah, and we're recording on Mother's Day, and we were going to have our good friend Ashley come in and give us a female perspective on a very serious episode that we were planning to do about the dark side of the music business.
Yep.
All of the sexual assaults that go on and whatnot. And we were also going to have her join us for a country episode, which I know you were looking forward to.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, so we're just going to bump that a few weeks.
Yep.
We'll have her back in. We felt Mother's Day is more important. We are not mothers.
Nope. But we appreciate everything they do.
Yeah, we appreciate everything they do. So we gave her the day off, and so we're going to discuss John Michael Osbourne today.
Yes.
But first, let's talk about the charts.
All right. We're going to start off with the active rock charts, according to, let's see, this is the media-based charts. Coming in at number 10, I can't believe top 10 for Killswitch Engage.
I don't recall them ever getting a radio airplay.
I don't either. They have a top 10 hit called I Believe right now.
I Believe.
Really great song.
They're
a great band.
They are my favorite metalcore band.
Yeah, they are a fantastic band.
Did you not know that?
I did not know that, but I know you've had a pretty cool memory with Killswitch Engage.
Well, yeah, at that show a few years ago, Jesse came out in the crowd, and I put my arm out, and he leaned back into my arm, and I got a picture. He's flipping people off in the picture. It's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Adam came down into the crowd, too. Kind of got a picture of him, but it wasn't together. But, yeah, Killswitch Engaged and Lamb of God. And
they're great.
Oh, they're great. Yeah, I had actually not known that was being played on the radio until last week, and I was like, holy... Yeah.
And it's a big hit for them.
It's cool.
Yeah, I love that song. It's great. Coming in at number 9, the man we are talking about for this episode.
John Michael Osbourne.
John Michael Osbourne and Billy Morrison doing Gods of Rock and Roll. How appropriate.
That's an okay song, but we're going to talk about that song from John Michael Osbourne.
I like that song.
And others.
Yeah. Coming in at number 8 is Jim Bob by Hardy.
Jim Bob by Hardy. I mean, I have so many feelings. First of all, again, as we'll say in every episode, we don't hate anything here on the podcast. It's just not our thing. And I have to tell you that Hardy is one of the busiest and most famous performers out there right now. He's just not my thing.
Mine either.
He does the country thing. He's put a couple of things on rock. It just seems boring and contrived and intentional and completely planned out.
Sold out.
It's like a cookie cutter.
Yes.
Great that he's got the heavy crunch and drop D guitars on it and whatever, but I just
not my thing.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Yeah, mine either. Number 7, from the number 1 album in the country, Ghosts has the number 1 album right now.
Not only in the country, but almost
in the world,
everywhere in the world. Yeah.
Satanized is number 7. Great tune from them. Number 6, I believe this album will probably take over the number 1 spot. Sleep Token. Their new album is out, and it is great. Their song Emergence comes in at number 6. Number 5 is The Funeral Portrait. I really like that band. We were talking about that the other day, The Funeral Portrait.
Yep.
Their song Holy Water is number 5. Wage War is at number 4 with Blur. Disturbed at number 3 with I Will Not Break. Number 2 is Linkin Park, up from the bottom. And the number 1 song this week is Volbeats by a Monster's Hand.
All right, yeah, that's a good top 10.
Yeah, not bad.
And something I put on Facebook last week is that, there's been metalcore bands played on rock radio. I
For sure.
Prevail. I Prevail.
I Prevail, yeah.
Falling in Reverse.
Yep.
But I've just noticed in the last little bit, and I do think it's thanks to Sleep Tokens appealing to a lot of people. Just because all of within a song, it can be many genres,
so many elements,
so many elements, and I think that they're just attracting people. It's not the greatest thing in the world. It's not, music is subjective. It's not the greatest album of all time or anything, but it's a fantastic album, and their last album and their emergence in the music scene. Has now opened the floodgates for Kill Switch getting on the radio, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, I would have never thought that.
I wouldn't either.
There's other bands appearing on these rock charts now.
Yeah.
And
people are finally kind of getting into
it. And I talk about metalcore with a lot of people, a lot of old people that couldn't give a crap.
Right. Yeah.
But like my friend Darla, from the Marshalltown area.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that stuff's loud and whatever. But the reality is that metalcore is a big umbrella.
Yeah.
Not all of it is heavy bashing, screaming stuff.
No.
There was very melodic, pretty metalcore out there. And so anyway, it's nice for that.
I love me some metalcore.
It's nice to see that happening.
Yeah.
Let's look at the top 10 on the country charts for the week of May 10th through 11th. At number 11, little outside.
Almost at number 10.
Weren't for the win, Ella Langley, she won, I believe, 5 or 6 awards the other night at the Country Music Awards. I'm sure you watched. At number 10, then, we have Bailey Zimmerman, Holy Smokes. Have you checked him out? No? Okay.
No.
Kane Brown, Backseat Driver.
I did
9.
check that one out.
All right. Megan Maroney, Am I Okay? John Morgan at number 7 with Friends Like That. Zach Top, number 6, I Never Lie. And you and I literally were just
listening to that.
We were just listening to that, and I was teaching Andy the words. Blake Shelton, number 5, Texas. Have you listened to that one yet?
No.
Okay. Number 4, Low Cash, Hometown Home. Jason Aldean, Whiskey Drink at number 3. Morgan Wallen, I'm the Problem, has fallen to number 2, and Cole Swindell has taken over number 1 with Forever to Me.
What was the song that I was listening to on?
I don't know.
Hang on.
I don't know who that was.
It was Zach Top.
No.
I Never Lie tune.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
that's very country.
It's very
that is what I think of when I think of country music.
So in a few weeks when Ashley comes in, we're going to deep dive into Andy's bias against country music.
It's not a bias so much as that it's just not my
your
thing.
Barriers. I can't wait to discuss. I don't know that
your
barriers.
I don't know that it's barriers. It's just I don't know. It makes my ears bleed.
We will in the weeks ahead. Have Andy listening to country music and wearing a George Strait t-shirt. that is the full intention. That is the full intention. So, do you? Is there anything you've been excited about in music this week?
I like the Sleep Token album. I really enjoyed. I checked that out. Let me see what else I discovered this week. Counting Crows have a new album, and it's very Counting Crows. If you like the Counting Crows, you're gonna dig this album. I do like the Counting Crows. Bryan Adams has a new song. I know somebody was like, God, you're stuck in the 80s. Yeah, I am. Yeah. But this is new music from them, so hey, it's new. I just like I like what I like. Mm-hmm. I've been a fan of them for years, and if they're bringing out new music, love it.
The other thing we'll always say is, when it comes to this podcast, we encourage you to continue listening to the music that you
grew
up with, you were raised on, and you liked. But the point of our podcast is to really kind of
check out some new stuff too.
Check out new stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always bring up some of the new artists and the new things going on in every podcast. And, You can Google it.
A lot of people don't know, though, that like some of these artists have new music, like Bryan Adams. Like who would have known? The radio ain't playing Bryan
Like
Adams.
my friend Darla was discussing, big Donny Osmond fan. Yeah. Maybe Donnie's got something new.
Maybe.
I'm not going to look.
Me either, but it's a possibility. 3 Days Grace new song, Apologies. That's a great tune.
Oh, that is good. It's very, very different for them.
Yeah,
very different,
does not sound like them. Song. But yeah, I really, really like that. I like the new Billy Idol with Joan Jett called Wild Side. Warning, there's a new Puddle of Mud song out. Just, do with that what you will. You can file it, or you can go listen to it if you like the Puddle of Mud.
Yeah, the Puddle of Mud drum.
I like Puddle of Mud's first album. I love their first album.
Oh, they've got
a couple of other songs after that. But then,
you have to. The problem with Puddle of Mud is Wes Scantlin, who was just really struggled with addiction.
Yeah, very much.
And
I think still
suffering
struggling
from assholism.
Yes,
and he's just put together subpar albums, I think, just to feed his addiction.
Yeah, that's the way I feel too. They're not authentic albums. They're just, here, let's put this out. See if we can make some money.
Right.
That's pretty much it for that.
All right. Well, let's cover.
I did want to mention one song that I think you'll. I know you're like Halsey with Amy Lee. Their song "Hand That Feeds."
Very good. Have you heard it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's great.
It's good. All right. Well, I just want to cover some quick headlines real soon.
Okay.
Or real quick, and we should check this out. Maybe there is a video of it, but Crossfade played their first show since 2012.
Nice!
At Sonic Temple last night.
I love me some Crossfade.
David Draymond on stage the other night proposed to his girlfriend.
Really?
Yep.
Hey, congrats. Yes. Good for David Draymond.
Judas Priest won't be at Ozzy and Black Sabbath farewell.
They're not going to be there?
Not going to be there because this is after the fact. Rob Halford is very upset that he can't be there, of course, because they're long time
buddies. Rob actually fronted Black Sabbath for one night.
Yeah. And so they have commitments and can't get there.
Yep.
The Who announced a final tour.
Awesome. I would love to see them one more time.
It's another one. I believe it's their 15th farewell tour.
Well, yeah. I saw them in 2006 and thought that was their farewell tour.
Yeah, well.
So, but they're great. I mean, it's like watching rock and roll history, seeing Pete Townsend play his guitar the way he does. I mean, when I think of rock and roll, I think of Pete Townsend doing his windmill guitar thing. So yeah, it's great to see that, and watching Roger Daltrey take his microphone and swing it around like he does, it still gets you if you're a rock fan. It's still good.
Well, Slipknot isn't diligently working on new music right now.
They're not.
Guitarist Jim Root says my inspiration is nearly zero. So I don't know.
So it just probably means they're gonna.
Slipknot.
Yeah, they might just be doing a greatest hits package next time they go out on the road.
Who knows? Oh,
did you see the Metallica Virginia Tech?
Oh, that video? Yeah, you should check it out. It's really intense.
Yeah, they actually registered as an earthquake on the Richter scale.
Yes,
that's pretty crazy.
Crazy. Hey, we were just talking about Wes Scantlin and Puddle of Mud.
Yeah.
Now he's going to come out with a solo album.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, it'll bring tears to your eyes.
I bet it will.
Yeah. So.
And blood to my ears.
Probably blood to yours. Since we're going to talk about John Michael Osbourne here in a matter of seconds, Zach Wild says Black Label Society will get back into action in 2026.
Fantastic.
All right, so we're going to talk about John Michael Osbourne.
Love me some Osbourne.
Do you know who that is?
No. It's Ozzy.
It's Ozzy.
It's Ozzy.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend, the rock and roll god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, we're just going to spend some time talking about Ozzy, just kind of precursor to what's going to happen. I believe it's in July.
Yep.
It'll be Ozzy's last performance, but it will also be Black Sabbath's last performance.
It's sad.
And this will be, this is different than Black Sabbath's farewell tour because Tommy Clufetos was the drummer. They did not take out their original drummer, Bill Ward.
Right.
They say it was because of money. I think that the rest of the band just felt at his age he maybe couldn't do a 2-hour
show
performance and back-to-back nights and a lot of air travel and bus travel. And
they're
whatever.
worried about his
but
health.
he will be there. There's a long list of guests that are going to be there. We'll talk about
the
that.
lineup is amazeballs.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the ultimate rock show of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Literally every
And
band
is going
to be great.
It will be streamed, if I remember.
Oh,
correctly.
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited about that then.
Well,
'cause-
you can research all that while we discuss it.
Yeah, I definitely will.
So, of course, Ozzy Osbourne, born 1948 in Birmingham, England. We know that he is, of course, he came from Black Sabbath.
Yep, that was his original.
That was his
band.
original band. Yeah, it was originally called Earth, by the way. Black Sabbath was called Earth. There was another band out at that time. They changed it to Black Sabbath, which is comes from a Boris Karloff movie, Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, 1970 is the first Black Sabbath album.
Oh,
We're a long ways away from 1970, and I think you and I, having spent as many years in radio as we did, and being music lovers, that without that album in 1970 in Black Sabbath, we would not probably know the likes of Metallica, Megadeth,
all of them.
Anthrax,
Any
of these bands.
Yes.
They are all inspired by Black Sabbath guitar players. Praise Tony Iommi.
I mean, he is an amazing guitarist.
Great musicians.
Yes.
That have inspired countless generations.
Very much so.
Music. So.
Watching Geezer. Yeah, he was a crazy bastard on stage, just running around.
Yeah.
Back in the early days, I should say.
But also, their live shows.
Oh.
Were kind of a spectacle back then, and and inspired a lot of probably Alice Cooper.
Yeah. I wish I could have seen Black Sabbath back in the 70s. I did not get to see them then. I did catch them twice. I caught them two different times on Ozfest. The first one was in 97, I think. And the other one was maybe like 99, if I remember right. But don't quote me on that because, boy, it's kind of hazy those years.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, seeing Black Sabbath live, Ozzy was in the prime of his life back then, and he was nailing every note. They were tight band, on stage. They just sound like... It sounded exactly like the CD.
Yeah.
Like, they were on fire.
So,
and, great. Just a great band live.
Yeah. So they released an album each year. This is back in the days.
Back in the day when
they didn't take 4 years in between albums.
Right.
Except for 74. After the tour for Never Say Die in 78, we know that Ozzy leaves the band. A lot of drug abuse, divorce from his first wife. Mm-hmm. But then he meets Sharon Arden.
Sharon!
Yeah. Who encourages him to go be a solo artist.
Yep, go out on his own. Do his own thing.
So, his first effort, of course, we know, is achieved with the primary help of the phenomenal late guitarist Randy Rhoads, Blizzard of Oz.
So good, that album.
Multi-platinum.
So good.
Crazy Train was on there.
Yep. That song was innovative in many ways.
Yeah.
And is still a institution at sporting events. Like, everywhere.
Yep.
You hear that song still today.
Everywhere.
You'll hear that at my gas station while you're pumping gas.
Yes, you do.
That's how big that song is.
81, Diary of a Madman.
I love that album.
5 million copies.
I love that album. That, I think, is probably one of my favorite. Maybe not my favorite, because I think I have one higher than that, but this very close to my favorite album by him. Diary of a Madman is a masterpiece.
Right. A defining moment in Ozzy's career came on the tour for the Diary of a Madman album. He was in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yep. Yes, he was.
And he thought someone threw a rubber toy, a bat, at him. So he grabbed it and he bit the head off. It was a live bat.
Yep.
And from that moment on, I believe that Ozzy really kind of became kind of a cult hero.
Very much so.
Or something like that. It was just like, for the people at the time, what was that? Gore's wife led that organization.
The
PMRC?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what it was? PMRC?
I think so. They were the ones trying to.
They wanted ratings on albums.
Yeah, ratings on albums and to, edit everything. Get rid of all the nasty language in the music and.
Yeah, it was. That time is very characterized by the mom in. Oh, I hate to say it, in Detroit Rock City.
Yes. Yeah. Perfectly.
She is the definition.
She is. Yeah.
Of that time.
Yep.
Taking the drumsticks and.
Yep.
And that's
very
what it
much
is.
so.
Yeah.
And then shortly after that, he going off of the whole biting a head off the bat, he went into his record label, and they were wanting to show some peace, I guess. That's what Sharon wanted to do, is because they were kind of worried about him. Because he was crazy. Mm-hmm. And he brought two doves in and bit the heads off them.
Oh.
And then threw them on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, crazy stuff. Ozzy was definitely, during all of this time,
whacked out of his mind.
Whacked out of his mind, on and off. He made some attempts to clean himself up and whatever. Yep. First solo top 40 hit was...
Close My Eyes Forever? Or no, that wasn't his, though. That was...
Mama, I'm Coming Home.
I was going to say that was my second.
From a great album called No More Tears.
That is my favorite album from him.
Mm-hmm.
No More Tears. Mm-hmm. Masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Whole album I can listen to front to back. And it also includes the song I want played at my funeral.
Which is?
Road to Nowhere.
Road to Nowhere. He wins a Grammy Award in '93 for Best Metal Performance for the song I Don't Want to Change the World. Great track.
I love that song, too. That whole album. It's great.
In '92, he announces a retirement.
I was bummed because at that point I had not seen him live, and I was just getting into Ozzy at that time. My buddy Aaron Kelsch introduced me to Ozzy, that album, actually. And I just threw myself into Ozzy's whole collection. I went out and I bought that. I bought Bark at the Moon. I bought Diary of a Madman, and I bought his first album. All through Columbia House.
Oh, good old Columbia
My
House.
free 10 CDs, I think, were all Ozzy, or pretty
House.
Close to all Ozzy
Who didn't
albums.
sit on the edge of the couch waiting for that package?
Right. So, yeah, that's how I got into Ozzy. And then, when Thierry said he was going to retire before I got the chance to see him, I was bummed.
Yeah. Well, he continued to record through the decade. Then we know what happens. Ozfest.
Yeah. Well, actually, a little before that, he went on because he had the Retirement Sucks tour.
Yes.
Because he was just tired of sitting around doing nothing.
Right.
So he's like, you know what? Screw the retirement. I'm back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so, yes, I do.
And I did.
That.
I did. Then that was when I first saw Ozzy, and it was an amazing show. It had the debut of two bands who are just amazingly huge now. And they were Korn,
mm-hmm.
and the other one was now I'm gonna forget. Damn. Who is it?
Who is what?
Who was with them? Deftones.
Deftones.
The Deftones was the other band. Two huge bands, but on their, inaugural first tour, and they tour with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, it's a pretty good gig.
It was a pretty good gig, yeah.
Pretty good gig. Okay, so Ozfest.
Ozfest was I went to 4 of them.
Yeah, I've been to one or two. I was organized by Ozzy and Sharon. Began in '96, toured throughout the U.S. and in some years parts of Europe. By the end of the 1990s, he reunited the original members of Black Sabbath for a new album and tour.
Yep, I saw that. That was amazing. In
1999, the band won a Grammy for Best Metal Performance for the song Iron Man.
Yep.
2013, Osbourne made his first studio record, 13, with Black Sabbath after a 35-year absence, God Is Dead.
Yep, that was a great
Earned
album.
the band another Grammy for Best Metal Performance.
Yep.
What does he do in 2001?
Was that when he had the ATV accident?
No.
No?
That's when everyone kind of got into Ozzy.
Oh, the TV show.
The TV show, The Osbournes. I watched.
Oh, who didn't? That was the most entertaining reality show of all time. I mean, Ozzy was Ozzy. And you got to you just fell in love with the guy. His personality is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of, I think at the time, reluctance from the Osbourne family to continue on with that because they felt that much of the viewership was mocking Ozzy or thinking that way that Sharon didn't like that people were thinking he was a bumbling, fumbling idiot.
Right.
When in reality it was just being Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, he's just funny. When
you snort 85,000 bags of coke, I mean, you're bound and determined to be a little off somewhere,
That's what I love about him. He's just funny. If you've ever watched that show, if you get his humor, he's hilarious. And I don't know. I like everything about Ozzy.
Well, that lasted until 2005.
Yep.
Then they started a reality series, The Osbournes Want to Believe 2020.
Yeah, that's a good show. It's got some crazy videos on there.
And the special, The Osbournes Night of Terror, both of which focused on paranormal investigations.
Yeah. They also did a show with Ozzy and Zach going across country. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what it was called, but I know they did that.
In March 2006, Black Sabbath goes into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
In 2007, he releases his first solo album in 6 years, Black Rain.
That was a good album.
Followed by Scream in 2010.
Yeah, not as good. But
Ordinary Man 2020.
I liked Ordinary Man.
And Patient Number 9 2022.
I have that on vinyl. It's so good.
Okay. So I just want to say right here that Scream was okay. Anything since Scream has been trash.
Really? You don't like Patient Number 9 at all? Like, there are some amazing collaborations on there.
Okay,
sad.
So Patient Number 9 won a Grammy for Best Rock Album.
Yeah.
The single Degradation Rules featuring Tony Iommi named Best Metal Performance.
It's a great song. The one that had Eric Clapton on was really good too.
Okay, well, I don't remember the name of the song. That was an okay song. I did like that one.
There was the one with the Pearl Jam dude was good. The whole album is great. But then I'm biased. I love Ozzy Osbourne. I think his music is great.
In 2023, Osbourne starts to cancel concerts, not physically capable of traveling.
Really sad.
His body was weakened from a serious spinal injury suffered 4 years earlier. I believe it was an ATV accident.
It was an ATV. We were lucky we didn't lose him then, honestly.
Yeah.
He should have probably been dead at that point. But somehow he managed to make it through. And I'm sure he's got living with pain pretty much every day.
Yeah.
I know a little something about that, so I know what it's like, and it's got to be hard for him too, especially since he was a drug addict before. You know, and once you're in that kind of pain every day, I mean, I could see it being real tempting to just take too many. You know?
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, you know, the addiction side of Ozzy Osbourne is been talked about. And,
yeah.
And, yeah, I think, you know...
poster child of what not to do.
Yeah. You know, once you get into a certain period of Ozzy's life, and I think in the, you know...
especially during the
especially during the
especially during the filming of the Osbournes, you can tell
he's
really fucked up.
Maybe over medicated,
very much
possibly over medicated during that, but it was still entertaining. So,
yes.
Now we're up to just the last couple of years. In 2024, he teams up with Billy Morrison on the single Crack Cocaine. Billy Morrison, by the way, is the other guitarist in Billy Idol's band.
Yes. Yeah, and a great guitarist. Steve Stevens and Billy Morrison, yeah.
I know Billy Morrison because he played with Warren.
Yeah. Yep.
Met him.
I think I did too.
Yeah, I think we went to that show together. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
So, also in 2024, he is inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist, and we're pretty
well
much,
deserved.
We're pretty much up to date on Ozzy, but he's played with amazing musicians.
My God!
Did you look up the list?
No, but I will right now.
You can look up the list. So,
we started off with his Black Sabbath mates, Bill Ward, an amazing drummer. Especially in his early days. I mean, he was a pounder. Like he was very, very instrumental. Like you look at some of the drummers today, and they definitely include Bill Ward as like inspiration.
Oh, sure.
Then you got Tony Iommi, one of the best guitar players of all time. Geezer Butler, a crazy bassist. Just an amazing lineup for the first band that he ever played with, and then you go on into his solo career, and I mean it's just a who's who. You look back now as far as guitarists goes, I mean Randy Rhoads first and foremost, rest in peace.
And he came from, by the way, a Quiet Riot.
Yes.
Yeah, he was plucked out of Quiet Riot, and it was a good choice for him.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to think of some of the other... of course, Zakk Wylde is one of my all-time favorites, but I'm skipping a bunch there. I'm trying to look up... wait, bandmates. Ozzy Osbourne bandmates.
Well, we know... Brad Gillis.
Yes, of Night Ranger fame.
What album was he on? Was that Ultimate Sin, or was that J.K. Lee that was on Ultimate Sin?
I am not sure.
I think. Well, you look.
Okay, so I got a list of some of his people. So Randy Rhoads in initially known as Blizzard of Oz, band. Randy Rhoads was guitarist, bassist Bob Daisley, and drummer Lee Kerslake. And then, of course... now,
Ozzy's had a lot of... In the last 25, 30 years, had a lot of issues with those original bandmates.
Right, yes.
Bob Kerslake and Bob Daisley, I mean, I think their parts were taken off of those albums and re-recorded.
Yep. He had Tommy Aldridge... Amazing drummer.
Aldridge, fantastic drummer.
Rudy Sarzo.
Rudy Sarzo was just amazing. Again, he, I think, was he in Quiet Riot?
He was in Quiet
time?
Riot. Yep.
At that same time,
Yep.
maybe, or
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. He played with Ozzy in '81 and '82. Bernie Torme played in 1982 as well. He was Rudy's, or he was the guitarist, as well as Brad Gillis.
Okay.
In 1982.
82.
Pete Way played bass in '82. Jakey Lee also played guitar in '82 through '87. Don Costa was playing bass in '83. Carmen Ipice from '83 to '84.
Yeah, Carmen's legendary drummer.
Absolutely.
It comes from Vanilla Fudge.
One of my favorites, Randy Castillo.
Randy Castillo,
who has passed away.
The late great.
Yes.
Yeah.
He started in '85, and then left, came back in '92, and played through '98 with him.
Which is when he died.
Yep, it was when he died.
Yeah.
Phil Sosin in '85 through '87 was bass player. Geezer Butler also played bass. Mike Inez of Alice in Chains fame played there. Dean Castronovo.
Dean Castronovo, yes.
Love him.
He played on the Osmosis album.
Yep, great album. 94 to 95 was when he was playing with him. Joe Holmes played guitar from 95 to 2001. Robert Trujillo of Metallica played bass in 96, 2003, 2020, and 2022. Mike Borden played drums in 96, 2010 as well. Jason Newsted played with him in 2003. And Gus G. Was also one of his guitarists. So, I mean, that's a pretty badass lineup of players.
It's a very badass lineup of players. And I just, looking back, you listen to those first couple of Ozzy albums with those original guys. They're great. They're great. My favorite, I'm a big Randy Rhoads fan, but I have to tell you the power and energy behind Zakk Wylde's guitar playing on so many of those albums.
Oh.
I just tend to go to those more, just the way
he plays so.
He
is the soul of the albums.
His bends and his pulls on the guitar that just make those wicked sounds.
So badass.
Just great. He's really been lucky in that regard to get him. So let's talk about these last couple albums. My opinion is that they're just trash.
I will disagree
because I think that they're contrived. Money grab. I think it was a money grab, or to just keep Ozzy's name out there, which I'm fine with. Cool. Record him to keep Ozzy's name out there. But he's had all of these same musicians available that could have played on these last albums. But they get this big-time producer, Andrew Watt, to come in. He plays guitar. He does a couple of live shows, whatever. I just thought it was trash. He's got this song out now with Billy Morrison. Cool, great, wonderful.
Yeah, I like I like both of those songs by him.
But it really does nothing for me because it seems to be lacking. These last couple albums he did just are lacking energy and power, and they're just not the same thing.
He is 70-something years old.
Well, he is 70-something. Okay. I'm not talking about Ozzy himself. Okay, he still sings fine and does great. He's Ozzy Osbourne. I'm talking about the energy of the music.
Really? That's what you don't get? Oh, man. Let me hang on there. I'm going to go get that album.
You're going to go get that album?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anyway, why he's getting that album. The final show is coming up in July. Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine is the music director. He, along with Ozzy, have picked some of the people that are just absolutely necessary to be there.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's a big task for him, and he says it will be the greatest heavy metal show ever.
I mean, you look at the lineup.
So we've got Metallica showing up there. Slayer. Pantera. Gojira. Hailstorm. Lizzie is the only female on the bill. Alice in Chains. Yeah, he should be good by then. Lamb of God. Anthrax and Mastodon. Billy Corgan of the Smashing Pumpkins will be there. David Draymond of Disturbed. Duff McKagan and Slash of Guns N' Roses. Frank Ballo of Anthrax. So...
oh, it's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. And, you know, these artists that are coming on are going to be performing Ozzy songs.
Yeah.
And he's going to be sitting in a throne on the stage.
Yeah, well, he can't really move very well anymore.
Yeah, he can't really move, but he'll be able to sing, and he'll... I don't know if he's going to sing entire songs or just parts of songs.
I think he'll probably sing the entire song, but I think he's going to pull like a Phil Collins. Like when he, did his last tour with Genesis, he pretty much sat the entire time.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I think that's... if he feels comfortable enough to be able to go out and sing, I think let him do it. Let him have this moment. I mean, the guy deserves it after this career. A great send-off would be, appropriate. And as far as this album is concerned, which Patient Number 9, look at the lineup, man. You got Mike McCready of Pearl Jam, Jeff fucking Beck, twice on that album. You got Eric Clapton, you got Zakk Wylde, you got Tony Iommi. I mean, I don't know what you're not missing, or what you're missing in this.
Okay, great. They got guests on it.
I mean, it's fantastic.
Okay. I'll give you Patient Number 9, but the rest of them are just blah. Okay.
Okay.
So
I'll give you the last couple albums were not that great, and the one I liked, the one previous, whatever that one was, the one previous to Patient Number 9. I liked that one as well, but yeah, Patient Number 9 I think is phenomenal.
Okay, so he's going to perform from a throne. It could be a flying throne.
Awesome. He'll take and have I'm sure, if it is a flying throne, this is just what I'm picturing here. It'll have guns with water hooked up to it. Oh. So he'll be able to spray the crowd, because the man, if you've ever seen Ozzy, loves to throw water in the crowd. That's his favorite thing. He'll dunk his head in some water. Back in the day, he would dunk his head in water, then he would throw it out in the crowd. Or there was one year he had this flying contraption that he got in, and he just shot the crowd with water, like this big-ass fire truck type hose, and just shot the crowd with water. He loves to do it. That's I imagine we'll see some of that.
Ozzy Osbourne's longtime collaborator, Zakk Wylde, teased that. He says, with Oz in his throne that just flies over the stadium or whatever, shoots out buckets of water and does everything like that.
Nice.
So, I am looking here to see if it's where it's going to be streamed, but I did hear that they're going to... oh, let's see here. He will not be doing a set with Black Sabbath.
Really?
No.
See, I had heard he was. Okay.
But I am doing little bits and pieces with him. That's where you'll see like Billy Corgan come out and
play some song, or play a
David Draymond come out and do a little Black Sabbath.
Okay.
I just think it's too long of a night for Ozzy.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure he'll come out and like sing one song or two with them. He's not going to sing any? I can't see that.
Well, it's all yet to be determined, I guess.
I would imagine he'll come out and sing at least crazy. No, not crazy. Paranoid or.
Yeah, Paranoid is what, like 3 minutes?
2 minutes, 2.5.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. To end the show. I could see that. I can't see him not coming out. I mean, it'd be cool if he'd play War Pigs with them, because that, I think, is their best song, in my opinion, as far as Black Sabbath goes, War Pigs.
Yeah. Oh, we should point out, in addition to the addiction, he also has Parkinson's.
Yes. He's
I don't know why we didn't bring
he's
that
not
up.
a very well man.
Yeah. So
he's had many health issues ever since the early 2000s. Really, his body has taken a toll, and so the fact that he's just able to get on stage at all is pretty impressive.
It is, and I think it's going to be a great, phenomenal thing.
Yep.
I do know that they're talking about streaming it somewhere. I do not find any information of anything being settled on yet, but we're 3 months away.
Yeah.
So I look.
I mean, at the very least, I'm sure you're going to find clips on YouTube.
Yeah.
But I could see it being something like you'd see on YouTube, on Hulu, or maybe Paramount Plus or Max.
So
I'm sure
when we know, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
Ozzy had a pretty amazing career.
He has had a great career.
Pissed on the Alamo.
It will be a sad day when Ozzy is gone, but I mean, that's the great thing about music, is it becomes that person's legacy. Ozzy Osbourne is like any other music artist. We all have memories, moments tied to Black Sabbath, tied to Ozzy Osbourne. Great moments in our lives. Been very impactful. I just think, I mean, you have to appreciate the guy. Absolutely.
Do you want to talk about some collaborations that he did? Some of the big names, like I mean, you got to talk when you're talking collaborations. One of those first that I remember him doing was a monster hit in the '80s with Lita Ford.
Yeah. When I close your eyes, that
close
was
my eyes forever.
That's probably you still hear that song?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That is a monster hit.
I watched Lita. I don't know where she was, at the M3 Music Festival or something last night.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, not that long ago, and she did it with somebody came out and sang it with her. I forget who it was, but she did talk about Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, he really brought Lita Ford back.
Really did, yeah.
He did.
I think they brought both each other back.
Well, yeah.
I mean, at the time, I think Ozzy was like...
We're talking, mid-80s?
Like, we're talking, what was the album that nobody really liked? Had Killer of Giants on it.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember the album, though.
Yeah, I can see it, but I can't remember what. But that
yeah,
it would just, he wasn't hitting like they were, because it wasn't the Blizzard of Oz. Randy was gone, and Ozzy was suffering with the addiction, and it just wasn't that good.
Yeah. So then there's this idea to get them together. I actually think, if I remember correctly, that partnership was put together by Sharon.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, and it really did bring both of them back.
Yeah, I really like that one. He also had a collaboration with Post Malone.
That was a good song.
It was a pretty good song.
Yeah. I like that.
That's a more recent one. God, I'm trying to think of some of the others he had. Somewhere, and this isn't a collaboration, but this just hit my head. Ozzy has recorded and never released a pop album, much aligned like the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hear that album so bad, just to see what he does, because he was a huge Beatles fan.
Ozzy has recorded with a lot of people.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that after Ozzy is gone, and Sharon is still here, who's been his manager forever, very smart businesswoman.
Yeah.
There is stuff out there.
Oh, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's stuff in a vault somewhere that'll be put together. Hopefully not by Andrew Watt or Billy Morrison.
Yeah. Let's see. Where's some other ones that he has collaborated with? Oh, Motorhead.
Oh yeah, sure.
I ain't no nice. Yeah, I ain't no nice guy.
Yeah,
that was a great one that I really liked.
Good friends with Lemmy.
Yeah, they actually did a couple of each other's songs. I know Lemmy's covered a couple of Ozzy's tunes. Ozzy's done a couple of his Motorhead tunes. Yeah, good stuff. Miss Piggy.
Oh, I'm not familiar
with that. No. Did you know he did a collaboration with Miss Piggy called Born to Be Wild?
I don't think that
it's horrible.
Well, then, yeah, I was just
but,
going to say,
I mean,
I love Miss Piggy and I love Ozzy, but I don't know that I want to invest even a minute checking that out. But
he also did something with Crystal Method and DMX, Old Dirty Bastard, called Nowhere to Run. Ringo Starr. He did a song called Vertical Man. Rick Wakeman.
Rick Wakeman, yes.
Did a song called Buried Alive. Coal Chamber. They
Coal
did
Chamber,
Shock the Monkey.
Shock the Monkey is very good.
Yeah.
I do like that one.
Yeah, that was... he did one with the Wu-Tang Clan, For Heaven's Sake. He joined Iommi and it was basically a Black Sabbath reunion. It was Ozzy and Iommi and Bill Ward. The only person who wasn't there was Geezer. Who's Fooling Who is the name of that one. Busta Rhymes. This Means War. He did that. He was not afraid to jump into the rap genre at all.
I'm not really familiar with a lot of those.
Rob Zombie, Ironhead. Of course, they toured together for a couple of different years.
Couple of different times, yeah.
Black Label Society, Stillborn.
Yeah,
I love that
Stillborn.
tune. That was a great tune.
That's a great song.
Yeah. Mountain, Masters of War. I didn't know that he did something with Mountain. That's kind of cool. Alice Cooper, which makes sense. Wake the Dead. Is that one. Slash. He did with Crucify the Dead. Post Malone, we talked about that. And Travis Scott, Take What You Want. Elton John, which I think is a great tune. I don't know if you've heard that, but Ordinary Man.
Oh, yeah.
That was off that album that you didn't really like.
Yeah.
But I think that was a
Elton and Ozzy, longtime good friends.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal collaboration. I think I really liked that one. But that's just some of the people he's worked with.
Again, he's had an amazing life.
Yeah.
And we'll when we learn some details, we'll pass those on. What are we going to talk about in the next episode?
Next episode, frontmen.
Frontmen and front women.
Front women.
Damn it, Andy! It's 2025.
Front people.
Front people. Yes.
People who front the bands.
People who front the bands.
The singers is what we're going to be talking about. The best.
Yeah.
Who's the best?
Put on some Ozzy Osbourne.
Yes, I would argue he's way up there in the list of best frontmen.
Yeah, I mean, you just if you got the LP, put it on, man, with all the little cracks and everything in it.
Oh, I'd love it.
Just listen to the shredding guitars and just the power of Ozzy's vocals. He just made you stand at attention.
Yep. There are so many songs I could suggest, but just go in there and just enjoy the whole catalog, really, and his whole solo career. Miracle Man is great.
Boy,
love me some Miracle Man.
Start with that one and just work your way around.
Yes.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us on the Amazing Matters podcast.
Yes, and we will talk to you next week. I've been MonkeyBoy.
And I'm Ziggy.
Thanks for joining us.